Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 3rd, 2022. And there's a lot more upside than there is downside. Um, you know, we've spent the entire week going in depth uh, analyzing Bitcoin, the price action, analyzing other indicators in the market as to what is likely happening. But I think it's quite clear at this point. And for this Saturday morning quick hit, I'm just going to summarize most of the findings and what I'm seeing on the chart and what I can expect. What I do expect based off of all of that work. So if that is interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame, you'll see that I drew this descending triangle that we broke out of, and I also annotated an Elliott wave count on the uptrend, okay? And basically what I'm seeing is, one, a breakout and a retest. That retest was not necessarily of the falling resistance, right, made into support, but this support right here, if you'll see, there's actually an inverse head and shoulders with a neckline right there, okay, that you've just retested. And so I'm seeing continuation, much more upside once again than there is downside. And you'll see here, it's very likely, given the measurements of wave 1 and 3, that these are indeed waves 1 and 3 of an advance, of an impulse, and that this consolidation right here is a wave 4 consolidation, okay? It's a complex correction, and that's what we're just getting out of, okay? Would not be surprised in the least if this resulted in an extended or expanded wave 5, okay? That's what you typically get off of these bottoms, and this, my friends, is a bottom, okay? This capitulation here on the 11th, I believe, right? Or the 8th. On the 8th, gave us a new low, but it wasn't necessarily, it was a technical low. Okay, it wasn't the orthodox low. Okay, I'm not going to go into all of the semantics, but basically it was a new low technically, but it didn't break the previous range of price action. That's basically what I'm saying. So not surprised if we come back to the previous range of price action up to here in that expanded a wave 5, okay? And there's a lot of imbalance here. You could see that when we came down in an impulsive wave, and there was no opportunity for the other side, buyers, to step in. So I do expect that to be balanced on this end. Okay, so that's my quick and dirty analysis for Bitcoin. Minimal downside. You got to be really short-sighted and on the small time frames to be short right now, okay? Because if you look at this, what in this tells you that it's a better bet to be short than long? I mean, look, even your momentum indicator, your stochastic RSI, is completely bottomed out on the 4-hourly time frame. And understand, how did it bottom out? This is also very bullish. So it was topped out at the top of this move, okay? And this consolidation in this wave 4, okay? Basically a sideways consolidation, right? Spanning maybe 1%. If we measure it, it's something like 1% of volatility from that point, right? Or less than 1%. Less than 2% volatility from that point was enough to bottom this momentum indicator out, okay, from overbought to oversold. That's very bullish, okay? It's very bullish when the momentum indicator resets completely with very little loss in price, okay? So that's how I'm reading this. Again, there are so many corroborating factors to look at. If we look at let's start with the DXY, and we look at that on this channel all the time. You can clearly see that we're in a move down. We've been in a move down ever since early November. Okay, we've been in an impulse, and I actually, during one of the live streams this week, counted this with you. I worked this out on stream. It wasn't, it was right in front of you guys. I did all of my work, and this is a high probability count. And just like Bitcoin is on the verge of printing what is likely going to be an extended or expanded wave 5, so is the DXY, the US dollar currency index, but printing a wave 5 to the downside. And we all know that they have an inverse relationship, okay, as Bitcoin goes, as a DXY, because that's the market mover, that's the underlying asset, right? You buy Bitcoin with dollars, not the other way around. First, you have dollars and you buy Bitcoin. Most of the world, 60% of the world, buys Bitcoin, buys crypto with dollars or dollar backed currencies. So as this asset goes down in value, then Bitcoin, crypto, risk on assets go up. And that's what we're seeing here. And you can see it's very clear. There's a head and shoulders pattern. It's a bearish construction that is at its neckline, about to break. This is going to likely be an expanded wave 5, and it's like the mirror image of what Bitcoin's about to print. So that is what I'm seeing. Okay. Now, moving on, Bitcoin dominance, we should also expect it to go down. On the 4-hourly time frame, we've kind of been stuck in this area, which I've been calling a B wave. Okay. I feel like this is a 5-wave impulse. This is an intermittent wave B. Okay, so if this is wave A, this is wave B. If you measure the retracement of this wave B, it's respected the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level of this wave A. So for me, this is an impulse, or sorry, this is a zigzag, an ABC zigzag, and we've just started the C wave right here, and this was probably wave 2 of that C wave. It's going to wave 3. What does falling Bitcoin dominance mean? Not a lot of people know, but in any bull trend, in any crypto bull market, okay, Bitcoin dominance falls. Reason being, Bitcoin always loses value to altcoins, generally speaking, in a bull market, because altcoins are, by definition, more volatile. They're lower in market cap, okay? And the opposite is true in a bear market. Because altcoins are more volatile, they bleed out against Bitcoin. They lose more of their value against Bitcoin in a bear market. And so in a bear market, you either want to be in stable currency or in Bitcoin because it's more conservative. It loses less value. It's just the slower mover in both directions. Some people who are Bitcoin maximalists do not understand this, or they understand this and they willfully deceive their audiences. Bitcoin is the more steady conservative currency, the more steady conservative asset. So by definition, it is the slower mover in the bull market as it is in the bear market. Okay, it doesn't, you don't pick and choose which one it performs better in. Okay, we understand that it's fundamentally excellent, but we're talking price action here. Okay, so that is Bitcoin dominance. Also, if you go on CoinGlass, you can see that people are divided. Okay, this is a 24-hour period. In the past 24 hours, you can see what people think in terms of going long or short on Bitcoin. So in the past 24 hours, on all of these different exchanges, Binance, OKX, BitGet, CoinX, Deribit, Bitfinex, so on and so forth, you can see it right here. How many accounts, how many traders are long versus short? The long are green, the short are red. It's pretty much 50-50. You look at the biggest accounts, right? Or the more serious, I would call it, the more serious exchanges for serious traders, like Bitfinex, right? Big exchange for big players, right? You can see that they're more long than short. Okay, they're really much more long than short. It's interesting. Also, Binance much more long than short. So I would be very careful going short. I mean, even bit by bit is more long than short. I would be very careful going short. But to be honest, it's pretty much 50-50. And actually, when you have this level of indecision in the market, it's a good sign that it's not uh it's not hedged, or it's not skewed. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not skewed one way or the other, right? It's pretty much a lot of people think it's going up, a lot of people think it's going down, and that is a great opportunity if you have an edge to really take advantage of what you can see in the market. Okay, so basically that's it, guys. I'm just going to now take the remaining time and run through my watch list. As you all know, if you follow my work, I have a watch list of altcoins that I'm actively trading, and I'm just going to go through some quick analysis on that. Uh, so, Polkadot, much like Bitcoin, broke out of a wedge. Looks like it is consolidating in this region and has been for the past few days, or day and a half, or something like that. But you can see basically the momentum is coiling up right here. That's very bullish. The momentum is coiling up. The momentum itself is producing a support level. Okay. But you can see very clearly that we've been at this region for a number of 4 hourly candles, and that region also represents the support of this W pattern that you broke. Now you're retesting. It's very likely that the next move is up, much more upside than there is downside. You can see that in Polkadot as well. Moving on, reserve rights, same idea here. Okay, same idea with breaking resistance, retesting it as support, and continuing. Also, you broke your wedge. Okay, much more upside than there is downside. Is it possible that you come down and retest this resistance, this down sloping resistance as support? Sure, but it's unlikely. And even then, there's much more upside than there is downside if this is indeed breaking out and your momentum indicator is bottomed out on the 4 hourly time frame, which is very telling. Dodo, same thing. Your momentum indicator is still in the oversold territory, and you've been consolidating on top of this old resistance that you've made support for many 4 hourly candles. So it's much more likely that you go up than down and break this support to the downside. Yeah. So that's Dodo. Ethereum. Okay, here I really like what the momentum indicator is doing. It's about to cross bullish on the 4 hourly time frame. And just as we saw with Polkadot, you've been consolidating on this level for many 4 hourly candles. And this level represents very clearly a new support. Okay, a previous resistance turned into new support. Okay, you broke out of your wedge, you retested that resistance as support. Now you broke out, you made a higher high. You now retested this inverse head and shoulders as a support. You broke this inverse head and shoulders, the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders. You now came down, retested it as support. The next big move, the next likely move is up. More upside than there is downside. You can see it throughout the market. And crypto works like that. There's a lot of similarity, right? It's not exactly the same, but there are similar moves being made throughout the market. So it's easier to read trends, I believe, in that way, because you can see it throughout. Yeah. If it's bearish, then everything kind of looks bearish, and vice versa. Zilliqa, this is a little less obvious, but you have been matriculating up in a corrective way, okay, to this new level. And what's likely to happen, given that the momentum has been bottoming out, as you've been going up, momentum has been going down. That is basically very bullish because now you have runway for a run up, right? An impulsive run up. So that's what it looks like to me for Zilliqa. Dogecoin. Dogecoin on the higher time frame looks great. It's basically retested the top. I'm not going to show it here for the purposes of time, in the interest of time, but it's retested its resistance, its bull market resistance as support on this level right here. If you zoom out, you'll see that. And what you're getting now is a double bottom move up and out of that level. This is your first consolidation from that point. Looks like it's a type of wave 4, could be a wave 2. Actually, I counted this as a wave 2 on the live stream yesterday. I believe wave 2, a running flat correction. Okay, I think the time you took to go up and the time you took to consolidate are pretty much the same. So I think this is a likely wave 1, wave 2 situation. Again, you're likely putting this in, right? You broke resistance, retested it as support, now you continue, right? That's pretty much what I'm seeing. Even if you don't, count the Elliott waves there, the next likely move is up, more upside than there is downside. And this to me is quite clearly a running flat, which is extremely bullish. If you guys know anything about Elliott wave, running flats are really bullish. When you have your ending diagonal wave C, that's really, really, really bullish. Okay. Here in Litecoin, I'm also seeing some bullishness, and I'm seeing some consolidation from this important region. As you can see, Litecoin also is retesting the top, just like Dogecoin, retesting the top of its bear market consolidation. Okay, the bear market for me is a combination of the drawdown and the consolidation. So, what you draw down for like 400 days and then you consolidate for almost 200 days, right? All in all, some 600 days of bear market price action, followed by a break of these lows. So about 150 to 200 days, you consolidate sideways. This was the break of that, okay? And this is the retest, kind of like what you see in Dogecoin, okay? So I'm seeing the next likely move to be up. My 4-hour stochastic RSI is completely, well, it is oversold. It's not completely oversold, but it is oversold at this point. So much more upside than there is downside, because you did retest that crucial resistance as support in Litecoin. Uh, Guys, if you're interested in much more elaborate analysis, where I go on higher time frames, where I talk a little more about the technical analysis, then the live streams are the place for that. I do live stream every day, except Saturday. All right, synthetics, same thing. You broke out of this B wave falling channel, and now you're producing an impulse on the way up. I think this is some sort of correction of that impulse. Maybe that impulse is corrective. It's an A wave, B wave, zigzag situation. Maybe it's a wave 1, wave 2 situation. Either way, it's very likely that you're moving up given the patterns here. Okay. Algorand, I think this one is a really a big sleeper. It's pretty much been consolidating in this range for the longest time, and it's a clear consolidation, a reversal pattern. I'm not going to explain that at length over here, but what I'm seeing is a zigzag, an A wave, a B wave. I'm seeing a big impulse up and out, at least to these levels for Algorand. Okay. Binance Coin, same thing. Impulse, falling wedge, impulse. That's a bull flag. Okay, keep it simple. XRP, it is a rising wedge breaking out. Okay, you can see again impulse, bull flag, impulse. That's one way to look at it. And that's it, guys. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're having a great weekend. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you guys tomorrow, Sunday evening, for the DXY live stream. I stream when the DXY opens Sunday evening, 6 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, take care.
For the damage to begin, wreaking havoc on eardrums. We cold, getting dumb, getting your crazy style. Late night, height division, we be moving with precision. With 10 spots popping off, making some decision about hitting them one at a time with these ill rhymes. My love at the door, free